LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up health. Trevor Project may be excluded from revived LGBTQ plus 988 crisis service that it helped create. The Trump administration's plan to restore the LGBTQ plus youth option on the national 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is facing new controversy, as the Trevor Project, the organization that created the service, may be excluded from participating. The Trevor Project launched the Press 3 option in 2022, connecting LGBTQ youth in crisis with specially trained counselors. During its 3 years of operation, the service handled about 1.6 million contacts before it was eliminated in July of 2025 after the Trump administration cited a lack of funding. Congress later directed $33 million to restore LGBTQ plus specific crisis services by the end of this year. However, the nonprofit administering 988 is limiting applications to crisis centers that are currently active members of the network. Because the Trevor Project's specialized service was canceled last year, it is not currently considered eligible. Wow, it's like they didn't have the money for it. It had to be allocated. $33 million had to be allocated through Congress, but you could find money for endless wars. You could find money for regime changes and
the stupid ballroom,
ballroom plaques, fake gold in the Oval Office. You can't get that gold anywhere, supposedly, except at Home Depot and Lowe's. They can find money for anything that they want, but when it comes to hurting people and it comes to hurting our community specifically, and in a lot of instances, sorry, there's no money for that. What they do have is an unlimited amount of hate. And it's unfortunate. A lot of these stories that we talk about, the only thing you can really say is that's really unfortunate. And go make your voices heard through the ballot box, peacefully assemble. That's your First Amendment right to do that. And just get out there and spread word about what is going on. So that way people don't feel blindsided by the things that our government is doing. I think that's important.
We've had so many stories about the Trevor Project and the amazing things they've done, right? And we've talked often about our youth and needing mental therapy services.
9 out of 10 thinking about killing themselves.
Right.
That's too many, Yvonne.
Recently, I was on a college campus and I was walking through, and I was coming through the parking garage, and they had all these signs everywhere, and the papers that have all the phone numbers on that hang down. Yeah. And it was about if you're needing help with mental health services. Every page I saw, the numbers were completely ripped off of them. Like, people are needing that service.
Oh, like take a
yeah.
Okay, I was like,
the youth is wanting that type of service.
Yeah, so lives are being lost daily.
Right.
Okay, and nobody's talking about that. You want to bring back the LGBTQ crisis line without the organization that helped build it?
Right.
That's like reopening a hospital and locking out the doctors. Like, come on.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Protocols, right?
And who are the ones at risk? These kids.
Right. Yep.
Well, it's very slick what they did, obviously, because it's like they got $33 million, but they put in the rules. Nobody that has been previously excluded from the service can rejoin the service, which meant that in effect, it's like, fine, here's your $33 million, but we're not going to give it to the organization that founded it because they were previously excluded. So they're getting them on like a technicality, they're not reinstating them.
No, they're getting them on hate. Brian.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too, Faye. Yeah.
Close this
out. It's
Brian.
awful. Okay, I'm going to say that is an LGBTQ 1 Minute news story. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.